How to navigate Capricorn season. Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm your astrologer, Core from Core Astrology. Thank you for joining me today. In this video, I will be sharing with you the sun's ingress into the sign of Capricorn, which occurs on the 21st of December at 6 p.m. It remains through the journey of the 30 degrees of the Capricorn constellation until it moves into the Aquarius constellation, which it does on the 20th of January 2022 at 4:39 a.m. I will be discussing essential aspects occurring during the Capricorn season, and these include the Capricorn new moon on the 2nd of January and the Capricorn full moon on the 18th of January 2022. I will also share noteworthy planetary and nodal ingresses occurring during the Capricorn season. Then I will discuss the predictions for all 12 zodiac signs and how best to use these cosmic energies. Timestamps for these predictions will be in the description below. If you're new to astrology and you do not have a chart of your birth, please go to www.astro.com and you can draw up your free chart diagram there. When you look to the 12 sign predictions, look to your ascendant sign first, but this is the most prominent influence of the interaction with your immediate environment for you to experience. If you look to your sun, look for the more outward yang expression of how you radiate out into the world and what your actions out into the world are. If you look to your moon sign, you will relate to more of the receptive yin, reflective, internalized, subjective, more emotive, reactive expression of yourself, as well as matters related to home, family matters, mothering, or anything that has a nurturing influence in your life. I intend to empower, enlighten, encourage, educate, and inspire my audience on how best to navigate the Capricorn season. If you're new to my channel and you enjoy the content, please consider hitting the subscribe button and ringing the bell not to miss out on any future videos. If you would like to empower yourself by learning the language of astrology, so to understand your charts and charts of loved ones and friends, please join us on my Beginners Astrology course, which starts in March 2022. It's an online interactive course combining theory and experiential astrology, teaching how to apply astrology into your everyday life while joining a community of like-minded seekers and explorers. If you're interested in the course, please look at the description below for detailed information about the course. Capricorn sun persons love to achieve. They tend to be rather serious, ambitious, status-oriented, diligent, cautious, responsible, and disciplined, successful and pedantic. They have a natural ability to understand business cycles and choose the more reliable and sound, tried and tested world's ways. They are great teachers as they evaluate and seek to ground, utilize and stabilize their environments, thus a nickname as the achiever. Capricorns are practical, down to earth, patient and solid, and wise as an earth sign. As a cardinal sign, they enjoy creating physical and tangible manifestations that yield long-term results. They combine action with a constructive impulse, which produces an essentially pragmatic nature. If you are a Sun Capricorn, you want to be useful and achieve status through success. Your behavior is firm and enterprising. Your motivation is pragmatic, centered on practical and useful actions, which combine objectivity and dynamism. If your moon is in Capricorn, you may come across as a little bit more serious or aloof, even isolated or ordered. Your emotional expression is restrained, vacillating between sobriety and reserve. If your ascendant is in Capricorn, you come across as more responsible, together, organized, and successful. Saturn rules Capricorn and is known as the Greater Malefic. He's the outermost of the 7 visible to the naked eye planets, and he spends about 2 to 3 years in each of the zodiac signs on his 29-year circumnavigation around the sun. Saturn represents father figures, authorities, restrictions, limitations, and manifestations. Saturn is the archetype of the wise and respected older man and sage, or also of the hermit. In myth, he represents the god Kronos. He has a fearsome reputation as a taskmaster. Yet, Saturn endows deliberation, persistence, producing a resistant, rigorous, disciplined, and conservative expression. The lowest octave is an expression that is restrictive, limiting, authoritarian, and inhibiting. The highest octave expression of Saturn is to be stable, structured, authoritative, and disciplined. In medical astrology, Saturn rules the knees, black bile, joints, bones, teeth, skin, infertility, physical disabilities. Saturn is melancholic in temperament and is associated with the cold and dry. Saturn rules aged persons, ailments, anxieties, austerity, architects, antiquity, barriers, blockades, bones, cemeteries, old churches, caves, clocks, colds, concrete, coal mines, duty, depression, deprivation, discipline, doubt, dark places, hardness, hard work, inhibitions, foundations, graveyards, lead, longevity, long friendships, introverts, maturity, negligence, miserliness, obedience, obstacles, the gemstone onyx, patience, precaution, responsibilities, prudence, mountains, ruins, sculptures, Saturday, structures, sapphires, time, winter, worry, watches, weariness, weakness, and wells. During this month of Capricorn, Saturn is at 10 degrees of Aquarius, and it moves to 14 degrees of Aquarius during this season. I'm now going to look at the astrological weather in terms of chronological events for the season. The moon is in a waning phase on the 21st of December as the sun moves into Capricorn and continues to wane until the 2nd of January 2022. On December the 21st is the solstice. This means that we have the longest day in the southern hemisphere. We are in midsummer, while in the northern hemisphere, this is the middle of winter. On the December 23rd, we have the nodes enter their new 18-month cycle. This occurs at 5:15 a.m. and the south node moves from Sagittarius backwards into the sign of Scorpio. It'll be at 29 degrees, 59 minutes. And equally so, the north node will be moving from Gemini backwards in the constellation into the sign of Taurus, and also at 29 degrees, 59, because they're always 180 degrees across from each other in the sky. This continues on until July 2023. On December the 4th, we have the final Saturn-Uranus square, which occurs at 11 degrees. This occurs from 7 in the morning, 7:57 in the morning until 10:28 a.m. Almost 2.5 hours, Saturn and Uranus will be locked into a grid. And this energy is familiar to all of us because it began on the 17th of February was the first time that they squared each other at 13 degrees. And then on June 15th, they squared each other again at 7 degrees. And this lasts still through into 2022, because even though this is the final exact square, Saturn and Uranus are so close to each other throughout 2022 that we will still continue to feel the effect of the meaning of this, which will be discussed in the 12 predictions for each of the signs. On the 25th of December, Pluto conjuncts Venus at 25 degrees at 14:49 p.m. This started on the 11th of December when Venus was going direct. Then during her retrogradation on the 25th, she joins up with Pluto again. As she moves forward, she will join up with Pluto again, which is in March the 3rd, 2022. So this is a couple of weeks worth of energy that will be discussed in the forecast. On December the 29th, Jupiter returns into the sign of Pisces at 6:09 a.m. And it was there from middle of May until the end of July 2021, already for 10 weeks. So we are familiar with this energy, and now it returns to this point in our charts, which I'll discuss when I do the predictions. On January the 6th of 2022, the moon will be conjunct Pisces in the sign of Jupiter. So this will be a very strong day to highlight the very wise and compassionate and empathetic energy of Jupiter when it's in dignity in the sign of Pisces. The new moon in Capricorn on the 2nd of January occurs at 20:33. So in other words, 8:30 p.m. at 12 degrees. On January the 16th, we have the Sun conjuncting Pluto at 26 degrees. And on January 18th, the full moon in Cancer occurs at 1 a.m. and 47 minutes. All of these times are South African Standard Times. And of course, on January the 20th, the Sun moves into Aquarius. So let me continue now with the predictions for all 12 astrological signs. Thanks so much for joining. Hi and welcome all Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. For you, the Capricorn season occurs in an area of your life that relates to your career, your vocation, your status in the world. If you are retired or unemployed, this also relates very much to your actions out into the world and your status. We have a lot of activity going on here because the Sun enters this area on the 21st of December and stays here until the 20th of November. And during this time, Mercury also joins Capricorn here. And of course, we have the very pronounced Venus-Pluto conjunction, which started on the 11th of December and occurs again on the 25th of December. And these energies continue until March of 2022, when Pluto and Venus conjunct for the third time. The meaning of this is that Venus relates to our finances, to relationships, to beautiful women, and to anything beautiful, jewelry, art, anything that you feel you love is a description of Venus. And Pluto, on the other hand, is very much an energy that can dig really deeply, looking for transformation, often the idea of an end of a cycle, a death of a situation, a death of an archetype, and with that, great regeneration and rebirthing as one realizes something in one's life is coming to an end. Now, with Venus going direct, but then going retrograde and then direct again, it could be looking at a relationship from the past, reviewing a relationship from the past and possibly trying to make it work again, or reviewing it, reevaluating a relationship. Equally so, reevaluating finances. Venus rules finances, having a look at how you're earning money, how you're spending money, how you're saving money. What are your value systems around your money? And also, what are your value systems around your relationships? Are there relationships that you would like to purge in your life, very much related to your status in the world, or around the actions out in the world that you enjoy, or your career? Are there relationships that need to end to make room for more empowered and regenerative type of relationships? The energy is so strong that if you feel it's time to let go of a relationship, you equally have the opportunity to find a more empowering, it's almost giving up the oppressive energies that haven't been working in your career. This could be a complete career change, possibly a explosion in success where you suddenly feel so empowered, while before perhaps you were feeling oppressed in your career. There's certainly great consideration with how can you be more empowered and empower others in your career and in your action out into the world. And what is it that you need to let go of in terms of within your relationships? You don't necessarily have to end the relationship, but within your current relationships, is there a dynamic there whereby you could possibly empower people more than you are, or you feeling oppressed because you're holding on to perhaps a paradigm of the past that is outdated? Equally so in one's career, are you in business partnership with somebody or doing a job that's not really fulfilling you? It's something that's maybe been fulfilling you for the 29-year cycle, which is when last we had all of this energy of Saturn and Venus all in the sign of Capricorn. Or is it time to move on to a new career? These energies are really strong for you. Also, on the 16th of January, the Sun is together with Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. So this may be a day where you feel like this major transformation going on, and you'll feel incredibly empowered by any situation, even if it may seem a little bit of a crisis, letting go of the old version of who you are. Pluto really wants us to upgrade ourselves. I often think of a caterpillar that goes into a state of pupa and then emerges as a butterfly, or even the phoenix that once in a while burns itself to the ground only to arise again and fly new in a much more regenerative way. Then let us look to the Saturn and Uranus square, which of course started already in February, around about the 7th and 8th of February, 17th, 18th of February, 2021 at 7 degrees of Taurus and Aquarius. Have a look to see where that was in your chart, if it touches any of your planets. It then connected again at this 90-degree angle in June, on the 15th of June, and it does its final connecting on the 24th of December at 11 degrees. So if you have any planets in fixed signs, 11 degrees of Aquarius or Taurus, you'll feel it very strongly, and even of Scorpio and Leo, any of the fixed signs will feel this really strongly. We also have Mercury joining the mix on around about, I think it's the 17th of January, as she goes into, so it's the 18th of January, as Mercury goes into the sign of Aquarius. Forgive me, she goes retrograde on the 18th, but actually joins in to Aquarius on the 2nd of January, highlighting the energies that are coming from the Saturn square Uranus. And Uranus for you is in an area in your chart related to the self-esteem I was talking about, to your finances. And Uranus really beckons for freedom and change. It wants to be liberated and be the great awakener who is a bit of a maverick and does things in an unusual way. It's almost to say as though Uranus would ask you to beg you to just let go of all your financial responsibilities, or make changes or rearrange it in such a way so that you can become more financially independent. And with that, your self-esteem and your value systems can be a little bit more innovative and related around being freedom-loving and creating kind of almost a sense of chaos, but also surprise into your world when it comes to what is my self-worth, what is my confidence, what are my finances looking like. Saturn is in an area in your chart that relates to your hopes and dreams. And it also relates to groups of people and your friends, as well as receiving love and what income you are earning. And with the Saturn square going through to your area of self-esteem, it's asking you to either renegotiate your income, that there's changes around your income that have been occurring all this year, or you're renegotiating how you're investing your money. You certainly are reprogramming the friends and the groups of societies that you are relating to, which are bringing into your life this awareness of wanting to be more free from your financial responsibilities and that which is related to your self-worth and confidence. It's been a journey that's continued throughout the entire year. Changes have been required. And even though this last connection of the two, which occurs on the 24th of December, ends in terms of exactness, these two planets continue being very close throughout 2022, which means that the friends, the groups of people that you meet may be unexpected and surprising and new, and they're assisting you in restructuring what kind of society you want to be part of, as well as what are your hopes and dreams in your world. You've been changing those, very much related to your financial situation and your self-worth, and this will trickle over into the better part of 2022 as well. Now let's look to see where Jupiter is in your chart, and it has entered an area in your life which very much relates to wanting to be behind the scenes. Now, Jupiter had been already in this area of your life earlier on this year for about 10 weeks, from mid-May till about July. So you are familiar with the energy, and it relates to a various sense of paradigms. One of them is an ending of sorts, wanting to complete a cycle. With that comes loss, and with that can come possibly the sense of wanting to be a little bit alone, feeling isolated, possibly wanting to withdraw from the society or the outer world at large, self-renounce yourself in a way and say, I want to connect to God, to spirit, to the angelic world. I'd like to connect to the collective, or I'd like to work from behind the scenes and take some time out to possibly look at my subconscious behavior. If there's any chronic illness that comes up or any addictions that may come up, this is a fantastic time to give empathy and compassion and kindness to it, because when Jupiter is in Pisces, it is truly incredibly spiritual. It has no boundaries. There's a sense of unconditional love and a very strong sense also of connecting to God or the universe or to your own soul and your subconscious, and actually to have a look at that and say, okay, I'm retreating a little bit. It's only there for about 4 months, and I want to connect to spirit and the spiritual world and to God or whatever energies that you believe in, the universe, anything that is intangible. We're looking at magic, mystery, intuition, imagination lives in this area of the chart. And there's a need for you to kind of go broader, go wider in a very compassionate and empathetic way. Give yourself that time and space. It is also an area that rules secrets, because if we are not conscious, then, or if we're not conscious of our subconscious, then it may seem like we're discovering secrets about ourselves. So it could be that you may discover a side of yourself that you weren't aware of. It also rules hidden enemies. So a word of caution, be conscious of your environment and what is going on around you, so that if you're living in a sort of conscious way, then there's almost no way for someone to sneak in as a hidden enemy, because when you're conscious, you feel these things. Sometimes we also lose things in this area of our chart. So it's kind of like a hidden place if you're not living in the moment and being conscious of your environment and your soul's need, especially tapping into intuition and imagination will help you on this route. Then for you, Aries, the full moon is occurring in an area related to matters related to home and family. And this is on the 18th of January at 01:47 a.m. South African Standard Time. And it's quite a strong full moon because we have Pluto within degrees of the sun opposing the moon in Cancer. Now, the moon in Cancer is incredibly sensitive and emotive. And a full moon is always a time of culmination, realizations. This is when things are illuminated, the sky is bright with the full moon. And it's a matter around finding the balance between the sunlight and the moonlight. And these are at opposites at the time of a full moon because they stand 180 degrees apart from each other in the sky on a full moon. And this creates pressures and circumstances where for you Aries, there is almost like a conflict between what is my status out in the world? How am I the most successful version of who I am? What is going on around my career and my vocation versus what is happening in my home and family life? And the fact that we've got Pluto conjunct the sun and we've got the Venus, Pluto, all in this area of your status out in the world and what your success is, when it is then as opposed with the moon in Cancer, which is reflecting matters around home, family, land, property, relocating, gardening, your own unconscious, the sense of genetics and roots and family, they are in opposition. It's what do you want as a family life and as a home, and where do you want to live? Are you moving? Are you selling a house? What is it that your unconscious wants for you to feel safe and secure versus what is it that the outside world is demanding from you? So there's a sense of tug and pull between the two, and it would assist you to try and find balance in this on that day, and to the days leading up to it and the days leading after it. You may find that you're making decisions around home and family that are very much related to what your status out in the world is. Dear Aries, thank you for joining me today, and I wish you a blessed Capricorn season. Take care until the next time. Bye. Hi and welcome all Taurian sun, moon, and ascendant signs. Welcome to the Capricorn season forecasting. Capricorn for you is an area of your chart that relates to the foreign, overseas belief systems, philosophies, religions, higher learning, university degrees, gurus, spirituality. And for you, this season from the 21st of December until the 20th of January has a lot of energy around your thinking around these matters, because Mercury is also in the sign of Capricorn. And we have the Pluto Venus conjunction also occurring for you in this area. It already conjuncted on the 11th of December. You may have felt the energies then. Venus moved forward. As she moved retrograde, she joins up again on the 25th of December. And then as she's going retrograde, there's one more visit with the planet Pluto on the 3rd of March. And this brings up all matters related to relationships and finances, because that's what Venus rules. Anything that's beauty, anything that tugs at your heart, anything that it is that you love. And Pluto is joining up with Venus, wanting to overhaul and reboot Venus. This is saying reboot your relationships, reboot your financial situation. And Pluto can have the energy of crisis or trauma with it, or endings, because Pluto wants to end something that is disempowering to allow us to come from an oppressed situation into something that is more empowering. So you may find that your belief systems around finances or relationships are going through a major philosophical overhaul. This could come as an experience of crisis, or this could be welcoming as a sense of regeneration and renewal in these matters within your life. We have the new moon occurring in this area of your life as well, and this is happening on the 2nd of January at 20 hours and 33 minutes. And this is very much highlighting the changes that you want to experience within your own life, because the trine is to Uranus, the planet that wants change and excitement. And it's coming from this new moon, asking you to change who it is that you are, because Uranus is in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus is experiencing Uranus from the degrees of about 7 through to 13, 14, 15, during this time period of this entire year, demanding more independence, not demanding, offering independence individuality, being a bit of a maverick, a sense of the great awakening, a sense of wanting a bit of chaos and excitement in your life, which is very difficult for a Taurian because Taurus is a fixed sign and they generally do not want to have much change in their life. And with Uranus visiting, there is change around. And with the new moon occurring on the 2nd of January in the sign of Capricorn, it really highlights the newness of your belief systems and your philosophies and matters related to foreign travel and overseas and gurus, as was mentioned. Then on the 16th of January, Sun conjuncts Pluto. And this is a day that you may feel incredibly empowered. This may be a day where you feel like, oh, wow, now I really feel empowered about this belief system, or maybe you're empowered through a foreigner or a situation that is related to finishing a degree possibly, or teaching, or having had a counseling session with a counselor or a wise person that could really assist you with all these changes moving forward. When we look to the Saturn-Uranus squares, which occurred already in February of this year at 7 degrees, then again in June at 17, 18 degrees of equally Taurus and Aquarius, and it occurs again at 11 degrees on the 24th of December. It's the third and final dance of these two planets together. This has been a time for you to renegotiate and restructure your career and your status out into the world. What is it that you want to do in terms of a vocation and a career, and how do you want to shine out in the world? What do you think is your best version, the most successful version of who you are? And this is very much relating to this absolute need for you to want to change and become a bit of a maverick and be free and independent and innovative. And you feel like you want to have a lot more excitement in your life. There's a sense of your persona is changing, your personality is changing. You are more excitable and you want to do exciting things. So there's maybe a little bit of chaos in your life because you're not used to this. And yet you've had this entire year to work on how is it that this independence that you're seeking for yourself and the freedom that you want and the sense of excitement and change and unexpected surprises, how does that relate to your career, to your vocation, to your actions out into the world? For those that aren't employed and are retired, there's still a sense of what is my status out in the world and what are my actions out in the world? And this is very much playing in with the Uranus that is asking you to readjust and make changes and shift things this entire year. This kind of comes to a completion because this is the third and final dance of both Saturn and Uranus in these areas in your chart. However, through all of 2022, they are just within a degree away. They keep dancing together. They don't have an exact conjunction again. So you'll be feeling this and you'll have opportunity also through the year of 2022 to continue with these rearranging your status and structure and your career versus how you're seeking freedom and how you can adjust between the two of them. Basically, the Uranus wants brand new and just run wild, while the Saturn is saying we need to restructure this. You can't just completely hop off on a horse and ride into the sunshine. It has to be measured and structured in a practical manner. That still allows you to follow your ideals and hopes and dreams. When we look to Jupiter entering the sign of Pisces, which it already did it from May till July for 10 weeks earlier on in 2021, this is in an area that relates to your hopes and dreams and wishes coming true. Also, it relates to the rewards that you receive and the income that you earn, as well as the love that you receive from others. So with Jupiter in Pisces there, which only happens once every 12 years, this is really a lucky time for you. The 11th house area that this is occurring in is the house, the luckiest of all the houses, because we receive love from others. So this could be an increase in income. This could be somebody paying you money for hard work that you've done over many, many years. This could be a sense of reward. And this could also be, wow, my hopes and dreams are actually coming true. Plus, this is a fantastic time for you to make new friends because Jupiter rules teachers, wise people, people who are compassionate, people who are empathetic and kind and like to travel and have nobility and the sense of gainfulness about them. And it's in an area of your chart that relates to friends and groups of friends. So I think you're going to be making really incredible friends throughout this January to April period when Jupiter's in this part of your chart. You may get increases from work. There's certainly a lot to celebrate with having Jupiter, the greater benefic, also known as pennies from heaven, that is here to give us lots of good things occurring in an area of your life that is about receiving good things and having hopes and dreams and making connections with fantastic friends, possibly even foreigners and overseas, because Jupiter rules that. Pisces, definitely people who are incredibly compassionate, empathetic, and kind. Then when we look to the full moon for the Taurians, it's happening in an area of your life. This is, of course, on the 18th of January, that relates to communications and paperwork and thinking and talking and your immediate neighborhood as well as siblings. So here with the full moon in the sign of Cancer, there's discussions about home and family and nurturing. And with the opposition to Pluto in an area of your chart that relates to sort of a reawakening of a new belief system, there could be discussions around the full moon leading up to the 18th of January and a couple of days afterwards that are very much related to sharing these new opinions and belief systems or new religions or philosophies or a new discovery of a new country that you may want to travel to, or maybe a new course that you're teaching or studying, and how this relates to your family life and nurturing. And this could be shared in a very sensitive way, because the area in your chart that the full moon is in is about communication. So if this could be done, maybe big transformative events are occurring and they need to be shared. And if this can be done in a very sensitive and kind way. Equally so, of course, it could be matters related to a new environment. Maybe you're moving to a new neighborhood. Maybe something happens to your neighbor, and equally so, traveling or dealing with a sibling or any kind of wordsmithing. There would be a sense of profoundness on this day in terms of a revelation of a new belief system that you may have discovered. Dear Taurians, thank you for sharing my time with me today. I wish you a most beautiful Capricorn season. Take care, be blessed. Lots of love. Bye. Hi and welcome all Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Thank you for joining me on these predictions for the Capricorn season. For you Geminis, the Capricorn season highlights that area of your life that very much relates to being a resource to others, physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial, as well as what do you receive from others as a spiritual input, a financial, and emotional, or a physical input. And the Capricorn season is very much about transforming this, because it is in an area of your life that relates to irrevocable change. It's time to change up matters in this area of your chart, specifically with having Venus-Pluto conjuncting in this area. They did this on the 11th of December, again on the 25th, and this continues through until the 3rd of March, that we have Venus-Pluto dancing together. Venus is relationships and money. Pluto is endings, birth, death, renewal, rebirth. It's that cycle of having to give up something, closing a door before you can open a new one. So for Geminis, have a look in your life. What is it that you want to let go of that very much relates to being poisonous to you? This could relate even to old blockages or traumas or fears that you may be holding on that are keeping you captive in your circumstance, whereby you realize, gosh, no, I'm done with that. It's time to let go of this. I want to move on. And it can very much relate to relationships, because Venus rules relationships and love and our romance, that there's a need for complete regeneration and an overhaul. And this in itself allows you to be more intimate with yourself, to live your own truest potential versus holding on to some sort of fear and doing something to be a resource to others and they to you, when you've actually outgrown this and it's become toxic. It's time to let go. And we have the new moon on the 2nd of January, highlighting an area in your life that relates to wanting to connect more to the spiritual realm of the imagination and the divine and the angels and anything that's collective and not physically visible. It's kind of a sense of wanting to feel a bit isolated, or explore secrets, or be somewhere where you're not so much in the limelight. It's time to pray and connect to God and draw from the resource of the spiritual world in a way that helps you with this transformation of letting go. There's a need to want to let go and end a cycle. We have on the 16th of January, the Sun conjuncting with Pluto in the same area of your life. And it could be a fantastic day of revelation or renewal, a sense of, am I going to let this oppress me, or am I going to let it empower me? Am I ready to detox and let go what is no longer working for me? In terms of the nodes, we have the North Node moving into Taurus, which for you is in an area of your chart where you do want to spend more time alone and with spirit and with God and with imagination and prayer and delving into your subconscious, living a more conscious lifestyle of possibly doing more yoga and just kind of surrendering to spirit, to soul, and that which is invisible, a sense of self-renouncing the ego and the material world to make more space for the spiritual. The South Node is in moving into an area of your life that relates to your day-to-day routine. How are you of service to others? What is your day-to-day routine like? What is your health situation and your diet like in terms of eating healthily? And the South Node there is saying, try and remove yourself from the material aspect of your day-to-day routine and how you are of service to others, possibly matters around pets as well, or any acute illnesses that we have. There's a sense of let that all go while you make this great discovery of detoxification in the sense of being a resource to others or they to you. Let go how you are of service to others in an egotistical way and enter into the realm that you're a spiritual being having a material experience versus a material being having a spiritual experience, and try to almost dissolve. And you've got 18 months to do this until July 2023, this area of your life, and rather move more towards working collectively from behind the scenes with spirit and spending more time isolated so that you can connect more with spirit. This is where the nodes are changing for you, and the nodes being very karmic energies, they seem to bring synchronistic situations into being. So this could be for the next 18 months that you may want to spend more time at spas or out of the limelight, kind of withdrawn away from society, being more out of the limelight and possibly, retreat into a little hut in the forest versus being out in the world so that you can connect more to prayer and imagination. Perhaps you become more creative and connect with your subconscious to see what's going on there in terms of even chronic illnesses. How are they related to your day-to-day routine and the work that you've been doing? It's time to reflect on that for the next 18 months. In regards to the Saturn-Uranus conjunction, which happens in February this year, then again in June, and now occurs again on the 24th of December for the final time, Saturn and Uranus square off with each other. For you, dear Geminis, this is occurring in an area of your life that wants you to reorganize and restructure matters related to teaching, studying, foreigners, philosophies, religions, gurus, and higher learning and the knowledge that comes through wisdom. There is a need to structure these and improve on them so that you can be more insightful when it comes to your spiritual life and matters related to secrets or things that are hidden, or a sense of wanting to be isolated so that you can connect with your imagination, with all the intangibles, magic, mystery, etc. There's a need to be more collective in the way that your belief systems function. So this could be that perhaps you're studying a course on angelic healing or something new along those lines. Certainly a need to connect more with spirit. Jupiter is coming into an area of your life, and it's been there during May up until end of July for 10 weeks. That relates to your career and how you shine out in the world and what your vocation is and what your actions out into the world are. So this is a fantastic time to expand your career, especially if it's related to foreigners, law, wisdom, wise people, wise elders, and especially those that are very compassionate and empathetic. So this is a fantastic time to possibly do a career that you really love, or you'll find that there may be promotions, or there's just a sense of huge spiritual growth and enjoyment. There's abundance and pennies from heaven. There's this kind of good luck energy around how you can be of success out in the world in a very compassionate, empathetic way. What are your actions out in the world that are compassionate and empathetic? And this only happens every 12 years. So enjoy the process. This continues from the 29th of December through to about April of next year. And specifically on the 6th of January, we have the moon conjuncting Jupiter at this position in the sky. So you might just have a real strong experience of feminine energy, or the public connecting with you in terms of your career and the expansion within your career. Then we look to the full moon, which is occurring in an area of your life on the 18th of January at 1:47 a.m. South African Standard Time. That relates very much to your self-worth and your value system and your personal finances, and the sense of security around home and family. With Pluto conjunct the sun at the time of this full moon, there is a great need of detoxification of anything that is oppressing you, so that you can release that to feel empowered. And you may feel this very strongly leading up to the full moon, and a day or two after the full moon, which is the 18th of January. There's a sense of, no more do I want to be ruled by traumas or anxieties or fears or oppressed, that there's not enough, that I'm not good enough, that I feel insecure. And there's a sense of liberation, saying I'm going to regenerate myself and fly like the phoenix who has taken off from the ashes again that she was burned down into, and say, I'm back. And I'm back so much more liberated and so much more stronger and empowered. So enjoy the full moon process. I'd say from about the 16th of January through to about the 20th of January, there will be this great sense of, there's a culmination, there's a revelation, there's an illumination of realizing that to find your balance between your self-worth and being of service to others cannot be at the price of you being suppressed or feeling oppressed because you feel you're inadequate. There's a sense of, I am worth my time and energy. And with that, you will make the necessary decisions to bring this energy into your life. Thank you so much, dear Gemini, for joining me on the predictions. I wish you a fantastic Capricorn season. Much love. Until next time. Bye for now. Hey, Cancers. Welcome to all Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Cancers to this Capricorn prediction for the time 21 December to 20 January of 2022. For you, the Capricorn season has everything to do around relationships. The sun is shining into an area of your life that highlights partnerships, marriage partners, live-in lovers, best friends, business partners. And it is a time where there's also lots of communications around this, because Mercury is also in Capricorn up until the 18th of January. And there's a lot of communication around relationships, specifically about values within relationships and matters related to love, and also finances, because Venus also rules finances. So we've had Pluto and Venus join up for the first time on the 11th of December. Then Venus moved forward, returns back on the 25th of December, as she retrogrades. And then once she turns around and goes direct on the 3rd of March, 2022, they join up again. So any situation related to that currently will last through until March. So you have a lot of time to review, reflect, regenerate, and sort out all matters related to money and relationships. This could be relationships with women. That's what Venus represents, young women, anything that is beautiful. However, it could also very much relate to the romance in your life. And with the Pluto-Venus conjoining 3 times between now and March, there is really a sense of wanting to purge and detox relationships that are unhealthy and that do not work for you anymore. And with that, automatically empowering new relationships will come in as soon as you let go the old, because the energy is always there and one can choose the higher octave or the lower octave. And the lower octave is feeling oppressed, being abused, not the nice expression of Pluto, crisis, trauma. And there's the sense of so far and no more. I want to release that which is holding me back so that I can make space for a more empowering relationship. So possibly for relationships that are a little bit wobbly or going apart, this could be the end of a relationship. For someone who's single, perhaps a very empowering relationship is coming into your life. And this will be reevaluated continually up until about March of next year. The North Node and South Node change signs on the 23rd of December, and they do so until July 2023, 18 months. And for you, dear Cancerians, the North Node is going into a lovely area of your life that relates to your hopes and dreams, the groups and friends in your life, the income that you're earning, and the love that you receive from others. So helping you along with your relationship dynamics is the North Node from the 23rd of December onwards, saying there are plentiful of persons who love you. There is an abundance of groups of people that would like to have you as one of their friends. There is an abundance of hopes and dreams that you may have for yourself, as well as an abundance of people that want to love you and give their love to you. And this, of course, assists you with the situation in your relationship to realize that there is a lot of good out there and a lot of support from friends. So enjoy that 18 months of receiving friendships and love and living your hopes and dreams, and possibly even having an increase in your income, because it is an area of your life where we are rewarded for the efforts that we have given out. The South Node falls into an area of your life that relates to having fun and children and being creative. And the South Node wants you to let go of that energy and say, it's not all about just having fun or being with the children all the time or creating projects or giving love of yourself. It is more so about receiving love and hanging out with groups of people. And this energy continues until July 23. So this could be possibly a time where your children are leaving home because they've grown up, or possibly a completion of a creative project, or possibly realizing that the holidays or the way you've had fun or the way that you've given love and expressed yourself in the past no longer is fulfilling enough for you, and you would rather go out and work with the community, serve the community, do work with groups of people versus being at home, possibly doing creative things or just working with children or just giving love to one person. The North Node is calling you out to say, share your love with a group of friends and lots of people, because we will appreciate you and return the love. While the South Node is in an area where there's almost like, stop giving so much of yourself. It's time to, from a more spiritual world view, realize that you are spiritual and not material, and it's not about the projects that you create or the children that you have or the way that you express yourself in a physical way. It is more about the spiritual growth that your soul wants you to take, which is to step away from that and go more towards the group orientation of hopes and dreams and goals that you have for yourself. The Saturn-Uranus square, which is continued throughout the entire year, is in an area of your life that revolves around irrevocable change and restructuring how you are a resource to other people, physical, spiritually, emotionally, as well as financially. And what excitement or surprises has come in from new groups of people that you've been meeting throughout this year, because this has started in February, then it occurred again in June of 2022 and 2021, and continues now on the 24th of December. It has its final dance, the two of them together. This is exciting new friends and receiving love from people that are unexpected, possibly people who are very self-sufficient and independent and freedom-loving. And they are there to assist you in restructuring where your fears are, where your blockages are, how you can release these so that you can be more intimate with yourself, to admit that exciting people and exciting friends and exciting new beginnings in terms of an income to be earned or hopes and dreams that you have can be restructured in a way that is good for you. The Jupiter ingress into the sign of Pisces, which it does again on the 29th of December, because it has been there during May, June, and July of this year, brings to you great wisdom in terms of spiritual gurus, foreigners, philosophies, religions. There's a sense of deep compassion and spiritual insights and empathy through counselors, through people from overseas, through traveling overseas, and through belief systems that allow you to have a lot of compassion for yourself and to be very empathetic towards yourself. Lovely time to be traveling if you're considering it. On the 29th of December through to April, Jupiter will be in this area of your chart. It's only here once every 12 years, and it brings abundance and prosperity to your belief systems, or brings in fantastic foreigners or travel, or reawakens a sense of the wisdom or teachings. Perhaps you want to teach something, perhaps you want to sign up for a course, and this would be very spiritual in nature. The full moon, which is occurring on the 18th of January at 1:47 a.m. South Africa time, is a time of culmination and realizations and illumination. And it's going to ask you to find the balance between the two opposites, yourself and you as a sensitive, nurturing, caring human being, your physical body, your actual health, and relationships that may be oppressive or empowering. There's a sort of tug between who am I, what is my persona, how is my health being affected by a relationship, either ending, beginning, the relationship that I'm in. There's this energy about how do I balance the two so that I don't lose myself in there. I want to remain sensitive and nurturing and caring. And is the relationship that I'm in bringing the best out in me or not? And here, of course, we have the situation that if there is any relationship that's empowering, enjoy it. If there's a relationship that is no longer working for you, so this could be a time of arguments or endings or beginnings or getting really close to somebody. Certainly the highlight is here on relationships and how you play a part within the relationships. Dear Cancers, thank you so much for joining me in these predictions. I wish you a fabulous Capricorn season, and take care until next time. Lots of love. Bye. Dear Leo's sun, moon, and rising, thank you so much for joining me. The Capricorn season is occurring in an area of your life that relates to your day-to-day routine, your health matters, also matters related to pets and animals and anybody that you employ or anybody that employs you for work purposes. So it's about labor and hard work and the day-to-day routine and the physical health, the diseases, the diet that goes around this. And this focus for you during the Pluto-Venus conjunction, which occurs on the 11th of December, again on the 25th, and then continues all the way through to the 3rd of March, is asking you to review the relationships, and also relationships not just with persons, could also be with pets, because this area of our life very much relates to animals and pets as well. So it could be pets, it could be human beings, especially those that are of service to you, staff, or those that you are of service to and employed by. And there's a sense of wanting to regenerate that and detoxify what is not working, overhaul this, and come through a lot more empowered and truer to your own sense of what you think will give you optimum health and how you feel you want to be of service to other people versus feeling oppressed by this. Especially on the new moon, there is an indication that how you are of service to the world, how you shine out in the world in terms of your career, may want a sense of liberating. There is a need for changing this day-to-day routine, and also how this affects your status out in the world and the best version of who it is that you want to be. There's change ringing in the air, and there's a good opportunity on the new moon on the 2nd of January to reflect upon this, to see how this could become a possibility to set your intentions for the month ahead. The North Node is occupying an area of your life, and it goes into there on the 23rd of December for 18 months, related to your status out in the world, your career, how you want to shine out in the world, what is the best version of who you are in your life. So if you are retired, this is not obviously about your career, but it's still about your actions out in the world and your status out in the world. And there is this synchronicity that comes your way that is going to assist you to possibly receive a promotion in your career. Perhaps you're starting a new career. Is the North Node is what is fated and where we will do really well. And there will be support up until 2023, 18 months of improving your status out in the world. The universe is giving you that support. And simultaneously, the universe is asking you to lay less emphasis on home and family matters, and possibly where it is that you're living, anything to do with genetics, your origin, your roots, gardening, farming, landscaping, homes, decorating homes or setting up homes. There's almost this energy that would say for the next 18 months, let go of the attachment around family and home and building a home or buying a home. There's this sense that may be an egotistical, materialistic view. And where the South Node is, it really wants us to become spiritual and connect to what is your home from a soul perspective. What is your home from a spiritual perspective? If you see yourself as a spiritual being versus a material being, then yes, we need a home materialistically to make us feel safe. However, what does your soul require to make you feel connected to this idea of safety, home, family, belonging, roots? There's this need of almost let go of matters around the home and focus a little bit more on your status and your actions out into the world. Now, the Saturn-Uranus square that has been occurring the entire year, starting off in February, and then again in June of 2021, for the Leos, is occurring in an area related to your career, wanting more freedom, more independence, something that's more exciting and more innovating, and structuring this around a partnership. This could be a business partnership, a marriage partner, or a live-in lover, or a best friend. Through a partnership, you can stabilize and structure how it is that you want this new change in terms of your career. Jupiter is coming into an area of your life which relates to receiving resources from others, spiritual, physical, emotional, and also financial. And with Jupiter in the sign of Pisces, where it is really strong, this would mean you may be flooded with things coming your way on a On a more sadder note, this could be an inheritance coming your way, but this could also be the tax man paying back money to you. This could be you applying for a bond and receiving it. This could be a marriage whereby the partner says, here's some money for you. This is definitely finances coming in through partnerships for you. And this is being done in a very compassionate and empathetic, supportive way. Somebody saying, here's some finances for you, here's emotional support, here's spiritual support, here's physical support for you. So on this journey of changes around your status out in the world, you will receive the support all the way starting now 29th of December through to April of 2022. The full moon is occurring in an area of your chart. This occurs on the 18th of January at 1:47 a.m. That relates to being behind the scenes and wanting to spend some time alone at home, withdrawn from the busyness of the world, connecting more to spirit and imagination and to those things that are kind of hidden. There's some sense of like an ending around being out in the world and a sense of self-renunciation, which is more fulfilling to your soul, wanting to connect to the collective or to secrets or your own subconscious. So this could be a more reflective time whereby you may want to pray a little bit more, connect to angels or guardian angels around you, do something a little bit more spiritual that will help you digest if there's any endings or changes or matters related to secrets. It's an area where we can feel self-imprisoned, yet at the same time, it can liberate us, because if we don't think of this self-imprisonment in terms of any addictions we may have, it can also very much relate to realizing that this is only because we believe we are material beings. But the minute we shed that and we realize we are spiritual beings, then it can be a fantastic connection with self and your subconscious and really checking in with what your soul wants. So enjoy this time. Thank you, dear Leos, for joining me. I wish you a beautiful Capricorn season. Much love. Take care. Until next time. Bye. Hey Virgos, welcome all Sun, Moon and Ascendant Virgos to this Capricorn season prediction starting 21 December through to 20th of January of 2022. The highlight for you, dear Virgos, is having fun, fun, fun and more fun. The Capricorn energy is asking you to express yourself more creatively. It wants you to be able to give love of yourself. It may also very much relate to matters concerning children and any creative project or anything to do with being on holiday and having fun. This could also relate very much to romantic energy. Now, when we have Pluto and Venus connecting together in this area of our lives, this occurred on the 11th of December when Pluto was moving. When Venus was moving directly, she joined up with Pluto. Then as she's moving backwards, retrograde, she joins up again on the 25th of December. And then as she moves forward all the way until March of 2022, 3rd of March 2022, this energy abounds and it relates to everything that we love, romantic situations, because Venus is romance, relationships, beautiful woman, as well as finances. So perhaps you're looking at how you're spending your money on holidays, how you're spending your money around children, how you're spending your money in terms of being romantic. It's about discovering possibly how you want to overhaul who you are in terms of romance or relationships with women or things that you love. Perhaps it's got to do with shopping and how you dress. And there may be the sense of toxic ways of having handled these matters and the sense of reviewing and wanting to regenerate and let go of anything that's oppressive around children, lovers, expressing of self, projects, creative projects and holidays and romance. So this is kind of a good area to be doing this in. It's not so traumatic, although there is this realization that there's an ending with the Pluto and the Venus, and this will continue through to March of 2022 until it is resolved. The North Node is going into Taurus in an area in your chart for the next 18 months that very much relates to belief systems, studying anything. This could be higher learning, universities, any spiritual subjects around law, but it could also just relate to connecting with a nice spiritual counselor or doing some sort of work around foreigners or matters related to belief systems. It's the North Node that is very karmic, that is going to bring in synchronistic situations in your life that you can either travel overseas or meet a foreigner or spend time with foreigners or foreign philosophies and belief systems, or study something of a higher nature in terms of higher tertiary education. The South Node is moving away, asking you to move away from the focus of your immediate environment and neighborhood, at the focus about how you think and communicate and talk and write and any paperwork or business matters related to it. There may be a sense of letting go a sibling in terms of the egotistical nature of the material world, because where the South Node is, it really wants to bring in the spiritual. So there's a spiritual aspect to a relationship with a sibling or with a neighbor, or how it is that you communicate or think or talk or do paperwork, or do even your local travel in your immediate area, short distance travel. And this continues all the way until July 2023. When we look at the Saturn-Uranus cycle, which began in February of 2021, again in June, and now culminates on the 24th of December, here there's a need for exciting foreigners or people from overseas that are infusing your life with independence and a sense of freedom and innovation, this need to want to maybe travel to places you've never been, or to study something spiritual, or maybe awaken to a new philosophy or religion, something that is innovative and forward-thinking and allows a lot of freedom for yourself. And this is asking you to restructure how your day-to-day routine works and how you are of service to other people, possibly even matters around any pets that you may have, or any people that you employ, or people that you are of employment to. Also matters related to diet and eating and your day-to-day routine. That's kind of been reshuffling and settling itself into place throughout this year. And it continues to do so during 2020. So even though Saturn and Uranus won't conjunct again and be at the same degree, they're still close enough for the better part of next year to allow for the restructuring around your day-to-day routine and how you have service to others, and matters around related to your pets or anybody that you employ, and the belief system around this, the philosophy, the religion that is seeking to be more exciting and innovative, which could also include foreigners or matters related to traveling overseas. Jupiter is coming into an area of your life on the 29th of December, and will be highlighted again on the 6th of January as the moon conjuncts Jupiter. That has everything to do with relationships. And this would bode well for meeting somebody who's very spiritual, very gainful, very noble, possibly wealthy, very empathetic and compassionate in nature. So if you're single, this is a fantastic time to meet somebody. If you are in a relationship, this is probably a very romantic, beautiful time for you to become a lot closer and have the sense of gainfulness and nobility within your relationship and expansiveness. So enjoy that. And the full moon is occurring for you, dear Virgos, in an area of your life that relates to friends, groups of people, your hopes and dreams, and love received from others. And this is all possible for you if you can balance the two oppositions. This is a culmination point. This is a sense of illumination of how am I a lover to others? How do I give to others? How do I work around matters related to my children or creative projects or holidays? And how is this holding me back from going out into the world, receiving love from other people, and possibly meeting new people, exciting new people, and from living the hopes and dreams that it is that I want to live? And there's a need for sort of detoxing of the giving so much of yourself, and realizing that to receive more from others, there's possibly a need to let go of all the giving that you're doing in a certain area of your life, very much related to finances, relationships. This is an area of your life that during the Capricorn season, you can have a really good look at and revise and re-edit and remove what's not working so that you can move forward into your hopes and dreams. Dear Virgo, thank you so much for joining me. And I wish you a beautiful Capricorn season. Much love. Until next time, take care. Bye. Dear Libras, welcome Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Libras on this Capricorn predictive video. For you, the Capricorn season is occurring in an area of your life that has everything to do with home and family life. So this is the land that you live on, the property that you live on, the garden, the farm, the actual physical home, as much as it is the sense of roots and ancestry and family and nurturing and the mother aspect within ourselves. And Capricorn is highlighting this through a lot of communications around it, because Mercury is also in Capricorn up until the 18th of January of next year. And there's a lot of discussion around home and family and what this means to you. Then we have had on the 11th of December, the first Pluto-Venus conjunction, as Venus moved forward and met up with Pluto, as she moves back again on the 25th of December. And then after her retrogradation, as she goes forward again on all the way up until the 3rd of March, Venus is in very tight conjunction to Pluto. Venus relates to young women, females, beautiful, everything that it is that we love, romance. It relates to relationships and also to finances and our value systems. And when it joins up with Pluto, Pluto is asking to end something. It wants to overhaul something, to take it away from an oppressive situation into something that is more empowering. So there's a sense of a reawakening and rebirthing, much like the phoenix that arises from the ashes after having burnt herself down. And this means one has to close a door before one can open a new door. This means one needs to detox if one wants a little bit more intimacy around the home, for instance, in the love relationships. Perhaps there's blockages or traumas that are keeping one from that. So there's almost like this reawakening, looking at what is holding us back in terms of relationships and finances around home and property. Perhaps you're looking at selling a property. Perhaps you're looking at renovating your property. Perhaps you're looking at moving. If not either of these, you're certainly looking at changing things up around the home and family life. The North Node for you, dear Librans, will on the 23rd of December go into an area of your life that rules irrevocable change. So this is certainly a time for change. And change can involve grief, letting go, and endings, and equally so, it can also relate to instantaneous healings whereby we let go that which has been blocking us. This could be traumas or fears or anxieties whereby we realize these are toxic, we don't want them anymore, we're ready to let go of them. And with that, there's a sense of revelation and regeneration and a sense of intimacy with self, realizing that one has blocked oneself from something through fears. And by releasing these, one can actually become more intimate with self and what it is that one enjoys. Of course, this area of our chart, with the irrevocable change occurring, and this, of course, lasts for 18 months until 2023, is also an area where we are of service, not of service, where we are a resource to others. This could be emotional, financial, spiritual, or physical. And when the North Node is there, it is asking us to bring in the energies of other people who are either a physical, emotional, spiritual, or financial resource to us. So this bodes well for if you are applying to get a bond or mortgage, you will receive it from the bank. If there has been a sad loss in your family and you're going to inherit finances, they'll come your way. If you've overpaid the tax man and he owes you money, it will come your way. If you're looking for a physical resource of a lover, they will come your way. If you're looking for financial resource of an income or money coming in your way, it will come. The North Node brings in these resources as a response to the shared resource that you're giving out. So there's a sense of value. What I give out brings in a certain amount of energy. Equally, the South Node is in an area of your chart that relates to your finances, your possessions, your value systems, your self-esteem. And where the South Node is, it asks us to be more spiritual in our attachments to our possessions, to get rid of the ego, to get rid of the focus that we're material beings and we are driven by these possessions to give us the certain confidence or self-esteem that we have. And the South Node is saying, try and lift that up to a higher octave. If you are a spiritual being, which means there is no real relevance for the material world and your possessions, what is it that your soul would really want? What would your value systems be? What would your self-esteem and confidence be? If it's literally this fact, what would you do if money wasn't an option? If money wasn't a problem, what would your soul want to do? Have a look at that, dear Librans. Then in terms of the Saturn square Uranus, which was occurring through the better part of this year, starting in February of 2021, continuing in June 2021, and now again on the 24th of December, it has its final exact conjunction at 11 degrees. This is between Uranus in Taurus and Saturn in Aquarius, if you want to find this in your charts. It's happening for you, dear Librans, in an area of your life that relates to how you express yourself, how you give love of yourself, how you are a lover, how you interact with children, how you interact with anything that gives you joy and fun and that allows you to be creative, versus the need for overcoming one's own fears and anxieties that can keep you away from being intimate with yourself or others. This is an area of your chart where very unexpected sudden resources come in from other people. This could be emotional, financial, spiritual, or physical. In other words, it could be a lover. If it's physical, you need a second partner to be with physical. This could be a physical resource coming in through anything that is of value to you, be it a home or a ring or inheritance or anything that is coming to you. Physically, financially, but also emotionally and spiritually. There's a lot of excitement and unexpected support coming your way. And this is allowing you to change who you are in terms of how you give love out into the world. Now, the place of abundance that is coming your way is in an area of your life that relates to how you are of service to other people, how you manage your day-to-day activities, how you manage your diet and your day-to-day routines, and if there's any staff that you employ, how you manage those. With Jupiter in Pisces, there is a sense of nobility, gainfulness, spirituality. You may want to bring more of that into your day-to-day routine. There's a sense of compassion and empathy in terms of how you treat your staff or how other people see you as a being of service to them. There's a great opportunity for you to be wise and noble and expansive. Where Jupiter is, there's good luck and good fortune and plenty coming your way. So this could mean a lot of work relating to being compassionate and empathetic. This could mean having a closer relationship to any animals or pets that you may have, because Jupiter would possibly allow for a new animal to come into your home that is very large and beautiful and compassionate and kind. When we look to the full moon, which is occurring on the 18th of January, this is occurring in an area of your chart that is very much related to how you shine out in the world, how you are successful out in the world, what is your status in the world, what is your vocation. If you are retired or on a sabbatical, this could relate to your actions out into the world. And here comes the balance between home and family and what your needs are in terms of being a partner, in terms of being a parent, in terms of managing your home versus wanting to shine out into the world and be nurturing and like a family person out in your activities out into the world. And we see that there is a need for ending something around the home and family so that you can be more compassionate and more nurturing out in the world. There is a need to restructure something around home and family and detox, declutter, get rid of something that's not working, knock out a wall if you need to make more space so that you can feed more people. There's just this need of, this realization, there's an ending around home and family so that you can actually step out into the world and have a higher sense of being successful out in the world. Dear Librans, thank you so much for joining me on this Capricorn journey. The predictions thereof, I wish you a beautiful 21 December to 20th of January of next year, Capricorn season. Much love. Take care. Until next time. Bye for now. Dear Scorpio, Ascendant, Sun, and Moon, thank you so much for joining me on this Capricorn season predictions. The Capricorn energy, which will be highlighted between the 21st of December of 2021 and the 20th of December 2022, is in an area of your chart that has everything to do with thinking, writing, talking, siblings, your immediate environment, your neighborhood, as well as any business related matters that relate to paperwork or close by commuting to go somewhere or pick up something. And the Capricorn energy here with the Venus-Pluto conjunction, which started on the 11th of December, occurs again on the 25th of December, and then on the 3rd of March, is asking you to realize that somehow something to do with romance or relationships or your finances is coming to an end as you know it. There's a need to regenerate and overhaul and to let go of the oppressive ways of either communicating, thinking, talking, or writing, or relationships with siblings that may have been oppressive, or your environment, your immediate neighborhood, or any daily commute that you have or make, even matters related to the paperwork of your finances. There's a sense of something there has been toxic, something needs to be overhauled, let go, removed, so that you can do this in a more efficient way, and then that you can do this in a more empowered way as well. The North Node is moving in on the 23rd of December into an area in your chart that has everything to do with relationships. We're talking marriage partners, live-in lovers, close friends, and business partners, allowing an 18-month period up until July 2023 for an energy that will bring in partnerships into your life. If you're single, this could bring in a marriage partner. If you are in business, this could be bringing in a fantastic business partner. If you are married and you have great friends, this may bring in more great friends, or this may just improve your current marriage. The emphasis is on synchronicity and a focus on the partnership and improving this partnership. With that comes the South Node in an area of your life that relates to your physical body and to your health and your persona. And the energy is saying, drop the egotistical ways or the ego notion about who you are and what your persona is and how your health functions, and drop anything related to the material world, because where the South Node is, it wants us to realize we are spiritual beings. And it's saying discard the material look of who you are, whatever your body looks like. It's not about that. It's about your spiritual view of who you are and what your persona is. It's like connect to your imagination and your visions about who it is that you are, and live more in the spiritual, soulful connection to your physical body and your health than getting stuck in the material view. So the focus really is here to kind of let go of the focus of yourself so much for the next 18 months, and rather go with the universal energy, which is asking you to look and focus more on relationships up until July 2023. Enjoy this process. In terms of the Saturn and Uranus square that has started in February of this year, then occurred in June, and then culminates to the last dance of these two planets together at the exact degree of 11 degrees of both Taurus and Uranus, which occurs on the 24th of December. For you, dear Scorpios, this is in an area that relates to home. You've been restructuring home and family and what this means to you. And you've been looking at your genetics and your origins and your roots and possibly relationships to mother and foundations and family. Perhaps you've been moving this year, buying, renovating, creating a family. It's everything to do with the unconscious need for security and finding a home base. And this has been played out through very exciting and unexpected relationships, and they may have been coming and going, because Uranus is the planet of independence, freedom, doing things in a maverick way, doing things in an unusual way. It has a very erratic energy. So with Uranus in an area of your chart that rules relationships, it's about projecting partners into your life that allow you to be more unique to yourself and freedom loving and independent. And it's through these relationships that you are able to restructure your home and family life. Uranus also rules computers. So maybe there's IT people coming into your life, or people that are innovators. There's certainly persons coming into your life that kind of shake up your home and family life in a good way, possibly not that easy, however, also will continue throughout the year of 2022, because Saturn and Uranus continue this tight dance, but they're not exact. They move apart, but they're still close enough for you to feel this energy. So if you're restructuring relationships in relation to home, there is this continuation throughout next year as this process proceeds. In terms of where Jupiter will be blessing you, as she ingresses on, or as it ingresses on the 29th of December into the sign of Pisces, this will be highlighted again on the 6th of January, as the moon is then conjunct to the Jupiter in Pisces. This is occurring for you in a very fun-filled area of your life. This is all and everything to do with children. If you're wanting to fall pregnant, if you want to spend time with children, if you want to be a lover to somebody, if you want to just have fun or do any kind of creative project, this is the area of your life that will be enriched abundantly in a very compassionate and empathetic way. This could mean somebody comes into your life who's very spiritually noble and wise and gainful, whom you have a lot of fun with. It could be someone who's a lover to you, or it could be somebody who helps your children, or it could be somebody who helps you in a creative project, or somebody that you go on holiday with. It's fun, fun, fun for you from the 29th of December through to April. Enjoy, enjoy. And the full moon is in an area of your chart, dear Scorpio, that relates to belief systems, foreigners, matters related to overseas, higher learning, spirituality, and philosophies, religions, gurus. The focus is on a very nurturing kind of environment that allows you to realize that through some sort of sense of illumination or culmination, that finding the balance between your spirituality, your belief system, the religions, the philosophies, or traveling abroad, and the balance between your thinking processes and your immediate environment, siblings, your day-to-day routine, paperwork, there's a balance, and there's something within your immediate environment, your neighborhood, something around siblings, something around paperwork and how you think and talk and write that needs to be purged and let go of, so that you can grasp onto your new spiritual matters or matters related to foreigners and the overseas in a more nurturing and caring way. Enjoy, dear Scorpios. I wish you a beautiful Capricorn season. Thank you for joining me. Much love. Take care. Bye for now. Until the next time. Hey, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Thank you so much for joining me on the predictions of the Capricorn season, which starts on the 21st of December, ending through on the 20th of January, 2022. And this is occurring for you, Sagittarians, in an area related to your finances, your possessions, your value systems, your money, your self-worth and your esteem and your confidence. And you're going through a transition of change here, because Pluto and Venus are conjuncting in this area of your life. And they've done this on the 11th of December, continue to do this on the 25th of December, and continue until the 3rd of March of 2022. Now, Venus rules money. It also rules relationships and romance. And there's a great energy around a sense of confidence and self-esteem around romantic relationships, or around matters related to finances or to beautiful things. And as Pluto and Venus dance in this area of your life, there is a reawakening around your possessions, what you own, how you invest your money, and what really gives you self-worth and self-esteem. Then the North Node on the 23rd of December moves into an area of your life related to your service to others, your day-to-day routine, and matters related to your health. And here the North Node is going to assist you with synchronistic gifts that come your way, saying the best way to change your day-to-day routine is such and such. The signs and symbols will come your way, because with the North Node is where our destiny lies. And this is occurring for 18 months until July 2023. A reorganizing of your day-to-day routine in a way that is better for you. And it's equally so with any diseases that you may have, or matters related to diet, and matters related to how you are of service to other people in the world, and possibly also staff that you may employ, or any animals that you have in the home. There's a focus on this. The South Node is in an area of your life that is asking you to let go. Deeply so, because it's an area of your life that is about loss and endings. It's in an area of our lives which relates to the subconscious. And there's this need to become deeply spiritual and to welcome the spiritual in your life, this sense of letting go from the material, self-renouncing the world, to live more in spirit, in imagination, in, having the angels talk to you, or having insights that are more related to the collective and could come across as hidden or secretive because one can't see them in the tangible, yet they are there. Even just because we can't touch it doesn't mean it's not there. So it's definitely about dreams, imaginations, intuition, letting go of the material world out there, and really taking a nice deep dive into the spiritual realms. This could also mean travel to overseas, because overseas is where we're hidden, right? We're not visible to the world. There's this need to withdraw into more of a spiritual way of being. The Saturn and Uranus square for you, dear Sagittarians, is occurring in an area of your life that relates to writing, reading, teaching, communication, words, thinking, your immediate neighborhood, matters related to siblings, and also your day-to-day routine. All of this needs to be reorganized and restructured, and it has been since February and June of this year. We've had these planets dance together, and then when they do their last little dance together on the 24th of December, it's almost like getting things into, like fitting a puzzle into its pieces. One's been trying, and suddenly it starts falling into place. Here, the idea is that your day-to-day routine will be shaken up. How you are of service to other people will be shaken up. Any matters related to your health or diet or diseases will be shaken up in terms of diet. And if you have pets, that too could be very unexpected, and sudden changes are coming your way. And it's through thinking and writing and talking and communicating about it that you'll manage to restructure this. It may be that you do some form of consulting, and suddenly you have an innovative new way of doing this, and this restructures how you communicate and manage your business and do paperwork. So all matters related to paperwork, there's the restructuring. And this will continue also into 2022, that despite these two planets not having an exact aspect with each other, during 2022, they're still very close to each other. So there's this opportunity to continue with the changes you've already made for at least another year, to kind of perfect them a little more. When it comes to pennies from heaven, with Jupiter blessing you, this is in an area of your life related to home and family. This is a fabulous big property that you may be buying, or possibly you move into a really big place, or possibly you move overseas, because Jupiter is the planet of foreign and overseas and expansion and wealth and lots of, and it's in a sign of Pisces, which is very compassionate and empathetic. So it's as though you are being compassionate and empathetic towards yourself, looking at what unconsciously gives you security, and whatever that is the home that you want to create for yourself. And this could be a home that's very spiritual. So it doesn't even have to be a tangible physical home. Perhaps you're a rolling stone and you want to travel around, and wherever you go, you feel the sense of spiritual awakening. Perhaps you're visiting churches or sacred places, and there's this sense of homecoming, because Jupiter is about being wise and noble and gainful and spiritual. And often this does not necessarily mean in the physical terms, and yet it could mean that also. You could experience the gainfulness and the nobility and the spiritual wisdom that comes with a beautiful property and a beautiful home. However, it could also be the sense of connecting to your unconscious that feels safe and feels gainful and spiritual and noble in the place that you're at. The full moon is occurring for you, dear Sagittarians, in an area of your life where you will be illuminating. There'll be a sense of culmination or revelation around how you are of resources to others, physical, spiritual, emotional, and financial, and how they are a resource to you. And there's this need to have a look at any blockages, anxieties, traumas, any kind of toxic thoughts or belief systems that you want to let go of so that you can be more intimate with yourself. Don't have the fears block you from doing whatever changes are required, because this is an area of your life that is about irrevocable change, so that you can be more nurturing and more loving and more of a mothering, sensitive kind of person than you currently are. So yeah, enjoy the 18th of January, which is the full moon, and you'll realize already on the 16th of January, when Pluto's in the sky together with the sun, there will be this need for wanting to relook at your self-worth and self-esteem, and how this can be upgraded and fears let go of, so that you can be of a resource to another, and equally so they to you. Thank you, dear Sagittarians, for joining me. Have a beautiful Capricorn season. Much love. Take care. Until next time. Bye for now. For the Capricorns, welcome Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Capricorn. This Capricorn season is a big important time for you, because we are Capricorns, for those that are. And of course, this is the time of your birthday. So firstly, happy birthday to all the Capricorn sons. This is a time of great change occurring. We have on the 11th of December, we've had, and on the 25th, we will have, and again on the 3rd of March of 2022, Venus conjuncting Pluto in your sign. So what this means is that there's a complete overhaul within your personality and your persona regarding how you have a relationship with your money, or with women, or with anything that you love, or anything that is romantic, or anything that relates to a partnership. And there is this understanding that something about this could be quite toxic or oppressive, and that you no longer want to continue with this. You've realized it's a time to let go, so that you can feel more empowered and move along more empowered in your life. So this is definitely a time to look at romantic relationships, looking at how you manage your finances, and reevaluating this and kind of reprogramming it so that you can regenerate and come out incredibly empowered after March, the last conjunction between the two of these planets. Basically up until March the 3rd of 2022, there's the sense of purging and letting go toxic ways related to, as I was mentioning, so that you can move freely and have more empowered relationships with others, with yourself, and with your money. In terms of the North Node entering an area of your life for the next 18 months, which happens on the 23rd of December, 2021, and runs all the way through to July 2023, this is occurring in an area of your life, dear Capricorns, that relate to giving love of yourself and creating projects, or having children, or working with children, or simply having a lot more fun. And where the North Node is, we have synchronistic events that come in our lives. So you may have a new lover coming your way. You may, if you be married, find that you suddenly have an urge to be a little bit more romantic. It could be that if you're busy doing a creative project and you're an artist, you feel more inspired to start painting again, or creating something beautiful. If you haven't been taking a lot of holidays, this may be a time for you to want to take a little bit more time out and rest. And the South Node is in an area of your life that relates to groups of people receiving love and society at large, networking. And the South Node wants you to take a more spiritual approach to this, to kind of drop the material attachment to it, and say that the spiritual approach to your hopes and dreams and receiving love from other people and groups of people and society at large can be done in a less egotistical way, like drop the ego and actually look at what your soul wants in these areas of your life and have a more spiritual approach to this, and be willing to let go of the material attachments to certain friends or to certain hopes and dreams that you've had up until this point, or to certain income that you've been received or certain love that you've been receiving. It's almost like your soul is saying, I've recognized I'm a spiritual being and not a material being. So I want to move on and have a connection more to my soulful desire as to what are the hopes and dreams that I have, and what are the groups of people that I want to connect with in society. Who do I want to network with, and who do I want to receive love from? And this continues all the way to July 2023. So you've got 18 months to work through and with this. In terms of the Saturn square Uranus, this is occurring in an area of your life related to your finances and your self-worth and your confidence, your self-esteem, your possessions, your money. And Uranus, that's shaking up the things in your house of having fun and being a lover and wanting to have children and having a little bit more holidays, has been adjusting to your self-worth and trying to sort out your finances in a way so that you can have a little bit more excitement in terms of holidays and how you give love and the things that you want to do with your children, or creative projects that you want to do that are a lot more innovative and allow you to be a lot more independent and freedom loving, while at the same time restructuring your self-confidence and your possessions, your finances, in a way to make this possible. When it comes to Jupiter ingressing into Pisces, which happens on the 29th of December, and will be highlighted again also on the 6th of January when the moon joins up with Pisces, Jupiter, this will bring back situations that were already prevalent in May to July for 10 weeks this year of 2021, related to teaching, writing, communications, paperwork, siblings, your immediate neighborhood, and your day-to-day commute. There's a sense of an ability, gainfulness, and spirituality coming into those subjects of how you communicate with your siblings, what paperwork it is that you have to do. It may relate to foreigners or overseas, or certainly working with noble people or gainful people or great teachers or foreigners. In terms of the full moon for you, dear Capricorns, this is occurring in an area of your life that is everything to do with your relationship. So this could be a marriage partner, a business partner, or simply a live-in lover or a great, great, great friend. And here the focus is on how can you be more loving and nurturing and sensitive towards your relationship, while at the same time letting go a part of yourself that in your persona and in your being that has been holding you back. It's like the regeneration of how you value yourself, how you value your money, what is important to you, what romance means to you, how you manage your monies, all the things that you personally love. How and where and what can you let go there to regenerate yourself and your persona so that you can be more present and more loving and nurturing within your relationships? Dear Capricorns, thank you for joining me on this Capricorn journey. Have a beautiful month ahead, and I wish you all the well. God bless. Take care. Until next time. Bye for now. Dear Aquarian, Sun, Moon, and Rising, the Capricorn season for you is occurring in an area of your life that wants you to make contact with endings and loss, in terms of a sense of need to be isolated, to be alone, to want to withdraw from the world out there, to self-renounce the material world and connect rather with spirit. So it could be that you want to pray more or do more yoga or spend more time alone. Perhaps you're writing, perhaps you're contemplating. There's a need to really want to be in the subconscious and connect with your intuition, your imagination, and your soul as a primary sense of being. And during this time, you will be reevaluating any romantic relationships that you have. any relationships that you have to finances or money or anything it is that you love. And there could be a revelations. This happened already on the 11th of December, occurs again on the 25th of December, and all the way through to the 3rd of March of 2022, when Venus and Pluto in this area of your life are joining up. Pluto wants you to overhaul, regenerate, and empower yourself and delete that in your life which is traumatic, or that is oppressive, or that does not allow a sense of growth and regeneration. I often think of a caterpillar, which during that time of pupation kind of dissolves into a pupa, which could seem quite traumatic. This caterpillar, who's known a certain way of living, is suddenly a soup of cells in this pupa. However, it needs to go through that phase before it can then emerge as a butterfly and soar and fly high with a much higher perspective. It's as though you're going through a deep change within yourself, within your spirit, and within your soul, especially in regards to secretive situations or subconscious situations that seem secretive to you until you become conscious. It is a great awakening there. In terms of the North Node, moving into Taurus for you, dear Aquarians, this is occurring in an area of your home and family and property and where you live and matters related to mother. When the North Node is in this area, it gregariously wants to create a home. So this could be that you're buying a property, moving into a property, renovating a property, relocating, or simply expanding your home, or just wanting to spend more time at home. And synchronistic events will occur to allow you to complete your home, fix up your home, do whatever it takes for you to have the sense of unconscious security and safety. That is what homes mean to us. Where do you unconsciously feel secure and at home and safe? And over the next 18 months period, starting 23rd of December through to July 2023, there will be great opportunity for you to find home and to settle down and to expand what is home and family to you. The South Node is in an area of your chart that relates to your actions out into the world, and how, whatever your career is and what you feel is your highest sense of success. And what the South Node is asking you to do is to have more of a spiritual approach to this, to drop the egocentric, materialistic approach to the actions out into the world and your status out into the world, and to rather look at that in a spiritual way and say, what is it that my soul believes is success out in the world? What is it that my soul believes? Because I understand I'm a spiritual being having a material experience. I'm not a material being having a spiritual experience. So if you can be a spiritual being in terms of your career or your vocation or your actions out in the world, if you're retired, you won't have a career vocation, but you'll still have a status and actions out in the world. How can you be more spiritual? How can you let go of the material world and have more of a spiritual approach to the work that you do out in the world? Have a spiritual approach as to what success means in your world for you. When it comes to the Saturn and Uranus square that's been occurring since February and then again in June, and now the last one is on the 24th of December, that Saturn and Uranus are joining up in this dance. The focus here is on the erratic change and the unexpected and new surprising circumstances about home that you've been experiencing over the last year. The things that have been rattling your cage and demanding independence and freedom and innovation that are very much related to you restructuring your persona and personality. There is a need to restructure matters around your health and everything to do with your physical body, very much in relation to this excitement and the changes. Perhaps you've moved a couple of times throughout the year. Perhaps you've had great revelations and great awakenings about what it is you want your home to be and what you feel your unconscious sense needs for peaceful, secure environments. And this will continue through into 2020, even though Saturn and Uranus won't be at the exact degree as they have been throughout this year. They continue being just within a degree or two away from each other throughout the greater part of 2022. So these lessons that you've learned throughout this year of matters related to how you restructure your persona and your physical body around being in a home and family continue throughout 2022. When it comes to the planet of good luck and hopes and dreams and good fortune and pennies from heaven, the greater benefic Jupiter is visiting you in an area of your life that gives you an enormous amount of self-confidence and self-esteem and money coming your way. This could be an increase in terms of your possessions. Perhaps you are accessing monies that you haven't had before that are coming your way, and suddenly your possessions grow hugely because Jupiter is about expansion. It's about being noble and gainful and spiritually explorative in terms of all the gains. So there seems to be a great sense of either finances, physically, materially coming into your life, or the sense that I have enough, and the sense that I'm full of abundance and that my value systems are abundant and that I have enough finances to be confident and to have great self-esteem. That is happening from January till April. Sorry, not January. It's happening from the 29th of December, almost January, through to April. Enjoy the sense of wealth that you will be feeling then. When it comes to the full moon, this will be highlighting matters related to your day-to-day routine, your diet, any acute illnesses or diseases that you have. It will be highlighting how you are of service to other people and other people are of service to you. It may also highlight matters related to pets if you have any. And here the call is to balance wanting to be in isolation and working from behind the scenes and withdrawing and connecting to the spiritual world with wanting to be available to people in the here and now in the physical realm and wanting to be of service of them. And there's something about the spiritual world and wanting to retreat and isolate from the world and connect to imagination and intuition that you realize is coming to an end. And there's this need to purge or let go anything that's toxic about that so that you can step out into the world as a healthier person with less disease, having a better day-to-day routine and management of how you are of service to others. Dear Aquarians, thank you so much for joining me on this Capricorn season forecast. I wish you a beautiful season ahead. Take care, much love, and see you soon. Bye for now. Dear Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, thank you for joining me on this Capricorn season predictions. For you, the Capricorn season highlights friendships, networking, your hopes and dreams, and love received from other people. So this is a wonderful time for you to look at what relationships you have with groups of people, what relationships you have in terms of what you believe are your hopes and dreams, and what you believe is receiving love from others. And with the Pluto-Venus conjunction occurring in this area of your life, which started on the 11th of December, is highlighted again on the 25th, and then it continues until the 3rd of March of 2022. This is highlighting an area of your life where you need to purge and detox relationships that aren't working, an environment that isn't working anymore, any relationships that aren't working, because there's an overhaul in terms of how you are romantic out in the world, how and what it is that you love in your world. With Pluto there, Pluto is saying get rid of that which oppresses you and empower yourself instead. Regenerate, fly like the phoenix that arises from the ashes. But of course, first she has to burn herself to the ashes. So there's this process of closing a door before you can open a door. There's a process of trauma, crisis, letting go, grief, great inner transformation with everything to do with what it is that you love, specifically in relation to what your hopes and dreams are, how you are romantic, and also how you manage your finances. There's this sense of an oppressive financial situation needs to be overhauled so that it becomes more empowering, equally so romantically, equally so in terms of the groups of people and society that you are associating with. So you have a couple of months, a couple of weeks until March to work through this, reflecting and restructuring all of this. When it comes to the North Node moving into the sign of Taurus, which occurs on the 23rd of December and lasts all the way through to July 2023, it's an 18-month period. The North Node is bringing gifts to you in terms of the immediate neighborhood and environment that you'll be living in terms of how you teach and communicate, in terms of paperwork, in terms of relationships with siblings, and this day-to-day commuting. All of that will be improving with the North Node in this area. Perhaps you get your paperwork under control, the people, the co-workers that you work with, relationships with siblings, or possibly just the new environment that you're in will bring a lot of synchronistic good things your way to help you, because this is your future. This is the North Node guiding you into your destiny. In relationships to the South Node, it's asking you to let go of certain belief systems and philosophies or philanthropic ways, or matters related to studying or teaching or being a guru or a counselor. There is a need when the South Node is there to accept that you are a spiritual being, and that a spiritual being can let go of the materialistic, egotistical attachment to a certain belief system, to a certain sense of training or teaching or course that you do, or being a guru or having counseling with a guru. There's a sense of, or matters related to foreign and overseas or even legal matters, there's a sense of letting that go in the material, egotistical sense of you, and rather welcoming more of a spiritual outlook towards these subjects. The Saturn-Uranus square that's been occurring since February and then again in June, and now on the last dance of the two of them together on the 24th of December, has been in an area in your life that very much relates to endings, to withdrawing from the world out there and spending a little bit more time feeling isolated and connecting rather to spirit and your soul and imagination and dreams and visions and intuition. Intentions are more important than the actual material. So it's the ending off of a cycle so that you can become more spiritual. And to be spiritual, often we need to feel a little bit more isolated and move away and be alone so that we can pray to connect to God or the universe or whoever it is that we pray to, angels. There's a need for that. There's a need for retreating away and connecting rather to the subconscious and to your own inner secrets and exploring that dimension of yourself that relates to magic and to the more creative, non-material things. What's aiding you and the unexpected changes that are occurring for you are related very much to your day-to-day commute, to the immediate environment in your neighborhoods that you're living in, to how you communicate, think and talk and teach, and how you, anything that's verbal, anything that's written, contracts, etc. There's been this erratic need for change and liberation and breaking free from that throughout the year, and coming up with more innovative ways that are possibly a little bit more maverick, but give you the sense of the great awakening. When it comes to Jupiter, which is in your sign, and this goes into Pisces on the 29th of December, very much highlighted again on the 6th of January as the moon conjuncts this Jupiter. And it has been here really from May to July this year. There is this sense of you becoming simply straight up more gainful, spiritual and noble in your ways. So between January and April, there will really be the sense that you're closer to God, that you're closer to feeling wise, that you feel closer to feeling free and liberated and abundant and joyful. And this is all happening in a very compassionate and empathetic way. There's a sense of, oh, I'm expanding and I feel wise. Enjoy this time. For you, the full moon is occurring in an area of your life that has everything to do with being romantic and giving love of yourself and starting up new creative projects or possibly working with children. And the focus here is on a sense of realization, an illumination, a culmination, that having fun or being a lover or being romantic or working with children or creating a new project is something that allows you to feel like you're being a lot more nurturing to yourself and to others. This is a sense of, this is my new family, having a little bit more fun and giving more of myself and being romantic and creative. And there is a need to let go of something in relations to the groups of people and the society that you've been associating with, and your hopes and dreams and how you've been receiving love, that needs to be let go of. There's a purging, there's a detoxification, because as long as you still helping the community at large and you're out there for the groups receiving love from them, you can't be in a space where you can give love of yourself and where you can be creative and where you can have fun. So this is the highlight for all the Pisceans on the full moon. Thank you for joining me in the predictions for the Capricorn season. I wish you a fantastic season ahead. Thank you for joining. God bless. Take care. Lots of love. Until next time. Bye for now.